Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We are going into another Ample Terran vs. Terran. That last one, I don't think it really showed off Ample style in any way, so I definitely want to do at least one more here. It's going to be Ample going up against Made. You've seen some games on the channel of Made. He's been an up-and-coming Terran player for quite some time. By the way, someone did ask me on stream if I knew who Wiko Obama was, very high up on the ladder. That's actually Made, just so you know. Made, yeah, he's a strong Terran. We definitely, there's like some casts of him on this channel, not a ton, but like I said, he's been up and coming for a while, and yeah, so here he is. He's getting up to the top of the ladder too. You can see a lot of people starting to shoot their shot for getting their skill up as we approach ASL qualifiers. Okay, so we're on Polestar, vertical spawns here. Nothing really to say about that. I think Polestar is a great map. Really enjoying it. So glad it's coming back to the next ASL, but it's going to take a minute before we see what they're going to do. So I want to encourage you guys to hit that subscribe button. If you have not, you'd be surprised. You might watch this every day and still not be subscribed. It is highly appreciated. We've already reached 60,000 subscribers watching a 27-year-old game. I love it. And I hope that it continues to grow. Someone was asking me the other day, if I was in charge of all RTS, what would I make to revive the genre as far as like viewership and stuff? And my answer was actually I wouldn't do anything with the new games coming out. I would put money towards more StarCraft 1. We already have the perfect game, guys. It's right here. It's right in front of us. It's hard to imagine another RTS coming out and having anything like Brood War going on. So I want to thank you guys for, in some small part, helping to make that true. Yeah, please subscribe and leave a comment, like the video, all that. Okay, so it looks like both of them going factory openers. It's funny, once upon a time I could say, oh, it looks like factory expand on both sides. But that two factory play is so strong now that I don't know. We might just end up seeing, you know, like two fact going up right away. Let's see. Okay, he's got one in gas. Ample one in gas. It looks like it is going to be factory expand on both sides. From my testing so far, when you make the factory, you keep two in gas, and it works out perfect for the second fact. And we don't see that on either side, so I'd be surprised if we see anything other than the expansion coming up very quickly. Made going to turn around here. The SCV taking quite a bit of damage there from the Marine. You got to be careful about that. You want to really maintain health so you can get past 2 Marines, because everyone basically makes 2 Marines nowadays. There used to be a question between 1 and 2, but everyone basically makes 2. And so if you don't have your SCV at least like 48-ish health, you generally aren't going to make it past, if they micro well, to see if there's a command center being made. And if you can't check that, you just don't have good intel. Okay, factory finishes, both making a vulture, both sending SCV for that command center. Looks like Made's just milliseconds quicker here. All right, so very standard openers from both of these players. Kind of excited to see where they want to go from here, because neither of them has great intel right at the moment. This guy just goes home. Vulture actually coming out for Ample. This is dangerous. If you don't have really good intel, to send a Vulture out is really dangerous, because it, like, basically all that has to happen is if he sees it and moves in time, you can moving shot Vultures. Like, you can just chase another Vulture down and kill it. So if you get the first shot, it's dead, basically. I mean, I guess there's a world in which you're rallying a second one. And look, he actually went add-on and tank while bringing his Vulture this far. That's some... He's playing with fire, man. He really trusts in himself. So 2 Vultures moving out here from Made. And what you're going to want to do here is target both Marines down and then deal with the Vulture. Marines have much higher DPS than Vultures in these fights. And there you go. He kills them both really quickly, and you can see some of the danger of what's happened here. He does go ahead and kill one of the Vultures. Really good repair here. And he's actually... Oh, that's interesting. He targets down the SCVs, but the Siege Tank comes out. So that's the end of that push. Overall, I think you have to agree that Made came out slightly on top there. He was a little bit late on the transfer because he was microing as well. And 3 factories coming up. He is making his own siege tank as a counterplay to this siege tank. And for... Oh, wow. Ample 2 factory armory. Very interesting. Very interesting. He's actually going mines. Huh. Okay, well, he pokes with this first tank, and he's got the barracks down, so he'll see this tank coming. You have to turn around against this tank. You'll just get completely wiped if not. So, Ample's build is very middle of the road-ish. It kind of looks like a sharp build. That's kind of funny. It's almost like the players that are a little bit more aggressive in tendencies overall like this type of play a little bit. Anyways, I'll talk about that in a minute because he's laying some mines down. You do have to be careful here because Ample doesn't have complete intel, I think, on what's happening. There's the second tank. Siege mode is on the way for Ample, so it seems like he is looking to set up like a really strong contain. Oh gosh, this is a big mistake. He dived way too far with those tanks trying to get the kill. But maybe he gets it. Oh, no, just barely doesn't. Made with a great pullback there. Saves his siege tank and kills one of his opponents. So that goes advantage Made right there. But Made is down 4 workers. So Ample does have some really good things going on. And he does have these mines here. But what I'm afraid of is, well, he's actually still making tanks. I was going to say, what if he does a couple rounds of just Vulture? You're going to just run your opponent over because it's 3 fact versus 2 fact. And like a lot of slower units have been made. But instead, Made is making like non-stop tanks off of 1 factory, which I think is completely fine as well. He's getting his own mines upgrade. He has quite a few speed vultures here. The Academy is a little over halfway done. And 4 factory going up for Ample. This is actually very similar to a lot of builds that I used to do in Terran vs. Terran until just recently. I've been practicing other stuff, but... like very, very similar build where you go 2 factory, you're super flexible, you have the armory out. And anyways, we have the vultures coming up and targeting these down. So this is very good play from Made. He's punishing the fact that you were down overall in factory count. And look at this, walks up immediately. Oh, dude, he's crushing. Made is crushing his face right now. That is brutal. Now, Made, I think, doesn't have siege mode because he was upgrading mines last we checked. So he's like just trying to force his way up and just use pung mode on these siege tanks. And yeah, this looks just like a victory right here. You don't really come back from something like this. Okay, so Ample loses this one to Made. Very well executed from Made overall. A stronger category of build from him. Okay, I want to explain this a little bit because this actually gave us a much closer look into what Ample actually likes to do. Because he's playing against Made. He knows that this is Made. He knows Made is very good. Okay, so it's not like he's just screwing around necessarily. But overall, the build, I just got to backtrack a little bit. So Fog of War is gone. So the build he did, 2 factory, quick tank, armory. It's a very flexible build. It can, in theory, deal with everything. But, and the thing is, you have the quick armory, so it's like, okay, well, if you go like Wraith, he's already prepared for that. He's not really going to lose anything. But the thing is, you can only afford 2 factories for that, and then you add more factories later. Like, it's very common to go from 2 to 4 with this type of opener. Whereas Made went to 3 immediately, which is the Vulture-esque. Notice that he doesn't have an armory anywhere. Right? So he's like, okay, if you do show up with Wraith, it's going to be a little messy. I'll definitely have map control. You know, maybe it'll be even in position. Maybe you're slightly ahead. And then against more flexible builds, what Ample does, there's more potential for Made to get a bigger lead or a victory. Like, you have to play this type of opener nearly perfectly against this type of opener. Whereas, for instance, against a Wraith build, you'll just be even or ahead. Playing it like an idiot. You can play this build like an idiot and be even or ahead against Wraith. Whereas this build against Wraith is, you'll probably be just slightly behind, but it's a very playable position. So I hope that makes sense, how I'm trying to word this here. This is a stronger category, but if you play this build very well, it won't be behind against anything. Like, but you got to nail it against this build. So Made use like a more polarizing build, I guess we could say, which is mechanically more difficult. But yeah, he got the punish on Ample, who did not play a flawless game there with his build. But yeah, just the fact that Ample wants to open like this, I find very interesting. And because that, we're going to do one more Ample TVT. You guys, hey, where's the mirror matchups? Well, here you go. We're getting a big dose of them in these 3 days in a row. After that, we'll move on to some other players and other matchups. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.